More than 3.5 billion people, which is almost half of the population in the world, use Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, and WhatsApp to communicate with friends and family, distribute messaging, and expand their business through advertising and outreach. But on the 4th of October 2021, there was a huge disaster, I can say a blackout outage of communication across the globe, which lasted around 6 hours, which made Facebook to lose billions of dollars and other ecosystem partners as well. I tried, to visualize having 10,000 feet eagle eye overview what happened during 6-hour outage across the globe in the whole internet ecosystems of communication service providers. Facebook is a site reliability engineer in the telecommunication, which inspired me to produce this video and mostly lessened I learned. Just imagine when all traffic control lights in the big city stop working. There will be a huge impact, huge disaster. That's what was happening in the Facebook infrastructure and over 1,250 mobile operators across the world. Hello TechSkiers, welcome back to TechSki Master. Before I dive further with this short video, let me explain what happens in the normal situation using Facebook apps, infrastructure and data flow. Facebook has huge data centers, content delivery network, CDN across the world, and the backbone network, which is built, to connect all the computing facilities together, which is made up of tens of thousands of miles of fiber optic, cables crossing the world and linking all data centers together. So content delivery network process media handling nearer to the customer's location to improve performance, security, reliability of photos, messages, videos, and live video streams, being shared across the globe. So normally what happens is that when you open one of the Facebook app, for example, Instagram or Message, and load up your feed or messages, the app sends requests and data travels, from your device, which can be mobile or a desktop, to the nearest facility, which is one of their CDN, which then communicate directly over to their backbone network to the larger data center. So that's where the information requested by your app gets retrieved and processed and sent back over the same backbone network to your phone. I try to visualize what was taking place at the communication service providers, that the gateway to connect to internet, then you connect to Facebook apps. I can tell you on that day there was a huge flood of calls across customer centers of mobile operators across the world due to mobile subscribers failing to connect to Facebook apps. Customer agents started also checking and facing the same issue, raised tickets to backend core network engineers and all backend engineers which are responsible for installing, configuring and maintaining the connectivity to Facebook app and other networks, building wartime bridge conference calls across all domains, to try to resolve. I can imagine that mobile operators, backend engineers isolating issues and pointing to Facebook infrastructure and escalated the issue with Facebook engineers to check from their end. So all Facebook engineers covering different continents such as Asia, Africa, Europe, Australia, North and South America were also flooded with calls, coming from mobile operators, engineers. Don't forget, we have more than 1,000 mobile operators around the world. So it was a huge disaster. One thing that I understand by these distributed system platforms, there is a team always monitoring different metrics to determine if system is in a state which would require a coordinated human response in order to resolve. Also, I believe Facebook is a huge NOC, which is the eye of the whole global Facebook infrastructure, offering insane track of service levels, indicators, service level objectives of the live videos, messages, call quality in real time, measuring latents and silent colleagues, day-to-day changes, a packet loss, So within a few minutes, they spotted that there is a global issue also. I can visualize Facebook as a team on duty noticing huge drop on their monitoring dashboards according to SLI and SLO, set to measure the reliability of the system and system performance expectations, within the whole infrastructure. I can visualize what was taking place in the technical domain, like starting to trigger building of our command staff, which consists of our incident commander, internal liaison, customer liaison, deputy and scribe, and different subject matter experts aspects, from all areas coming together for firefighting during wartime. According to the infrastructure vice president, Santosh, who was acting as a customer liaison, indicated that the outage was triggered by the system that manages global backbone network capacity. A command was issued during maintenance, which accidentally caused shutdown of the backbone that connects all of the Facebook data centers everywhere in the world. So he indicated that command was issued with the purpose to assess the availability of the global backbone capacity. Also indicated that their system are designed to audit commands like this to prevent mistakes, but a bug in that audit too failed to properly stop the command. Lesson I learned from this outage, even though I don't work for Facebook but works in the area of cloud architecture and site reliability engineering in the Togo, I learned something out of this global outage like first, like to test for failure isolation to guarantee that the failure of one dependence does not affect another. And second, like designing systems to ensure that there are no single point of failure. And then the third, also all my changes after approval, when implementing them, I should notify all relevant stakeholders, not assuming that they know there is a change already bugged. And then fourth, why it is important to design for resilience, for tolerance, designing for operational excellence when building these distributed systems, platforms. So don't forget to share with me in the comment section what you learned also. What I like about the Facebook Postmortem Report is that there was no blame game, which shows great culture for Facebook family. They indicated, that every failure like what they face is an opportunity to learn and get better, and there is a plate for them to learn from this one. As after every issue, small and large, they do an extensive review process to understand how they can make their systems more resilient. Also, I enjoyed great leadership from the owner and the founder of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, Chief Executive Officer. He released an apology, which is something great. I really appreciate that. So soon, a series of troubleshooting and most interview questions in the area of DevOps SRE is coming. I have 100+ video interview questions spanning from the system design to troubleshooting in the pipeline, handling questions like tell me a war story like this one, about situation that went wrong and what you did to help on your own action. So don't forget to subscribe and to ring the notification bell as I upload new video every week. As always, keep on skiing in the tech world.